their enchiladas are just like unmatched, at least from what I've had. Yeah, my Tyranitar's gonna be with us for the stream.
Oh my god! Travis and Lane and Greg and Tyranitar.
No, if anything, that's what my Master Ball's for. That's my fidget spinner.
Oh dear Lord, no. All right, and ready to roll, Ross?
All right, let me get my post done.
And I'll share out of that into the group. No, don't send in messenger, silly thing. What?
The Star Wars, not at Star Wars, hashtag Star Wars.
So I like to say I watched,
need to see us.
I watched the Bad Batch and it wasn't the Mandalorian again.
Oh God, are we gonna?
Yeah.
You and I are gonna fight over this. I swear.
Oh, I'm not saying it was bad, but last week was the Bad Batch Mandalorian.
This episode was a 0 out of 10 because there was no Baby Yoda.
Understandable.
That was my ranking with Discovery when I was commenting with the guys and they would rate the Discovery episodes. I'd give this one 7 out of 10 hungry baby Grogus.
I don't understand why people dislike that name so much.
I don't, because everybody wanted it to be Baby Yoda. I'm like, no, he's going to have a name. I'm sorry.
It sounds like something you do whenever you cough and you're trying to get clear that last little bit of phlegm out of your throat, and you're like, going, this is gross. No,
that's Andy Serkis and Gollum.
Who played Supreme Leader Snoke?
Or
exactly.
Are you telling me that Baby Yoda's better than Pickled Snoke? I think not.
Pickled Snoke. That's funny.
No. Well, I mean, I guess hey, if that's the only thing that's pickled, I guess we're winning there. Better than pickled Palpatine.
Pickle Palpatine. Gross.
All that
they had sun-dried Palpatine and pickled Palpatine.
Why is sun drying Palpatine?
When they get a close up on his hands, they're just all crinkling and falling apart.
You didn't hear what I said, did you?
No, I did. It probably cut out.
I said, why would sun want to dry Palpatine? That makes no sense at all.
You know what's the one missed opportunity in that whole thing?
What's that?
Is I really wanted to see Luke's face like Palpatine come back like, oh, you got to be kidding me.
We kind of got that when he caught the lightsaber. What are you doing?
Yeah, you're allowed one F-bomb in a PG-13 movie. That would have been the spot to put it.
Disney is not going to exercise that.
Oh, and you know what?
Deadpool was flopped.
They greenlit Deadpool 3, and if he's going to drop... Ryan Reynolds is going to be like, come on, I'm dropping F-bombs.
It's kind of like the argument of, Captain America having to bring back the Soul Stones to the Red Skull. Like, Red Skull's got to be like, dude, are you serious? I can't lose this guy.
Hello, son.
Hi, son.
Hi, son.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, son.
Hey, son.
They need to bring out a 6-part miniseries on Steve Rogers returning the Stones.
That's got to be the most awkward conversation ever. Like, so you still doing Nazi stuff, or are we good? We cool?
How's that Ubermensch thing working out for you? How's no legs working for you? How is no life working for you, Mr. Rogers? You have no life of your own, I see. constantly doing the bidding of others.
Wow. That's sexy.
I do my best to please the most peoples.
No. Are we ready?
Almost.
Welcome to the pre-show, everybody.
Yes.
Yay! Where we just be stupid all the time.
Well, some might wonder about that because that before show, during the show, after the show, during the week, especially in the chat.
This is where we be stupid all the times.
Okay.
And I just do random accents for no reason at all, mixing them all together, making no sense whatsoever.
You should do the whole show like that.
No.
What do you say, son?
Well, I would say you should probably tune into him streaming stuff like Mech Warrior and Phoenix Point, where he does this all the time. If you want to know what an entire stream of him doing voices sound like, go watch him on Live, Love, Play.
That's what I do.
I, in fact, did do an entire stream doing voices when I did the introductory missions to Atlas Rogues. It's a early access turn-based tactical roguelike. That's a mouthful. They have none of the voice lines in yet, so I provided all the voices for the various characters. That was fun.
Doing his best Clone Wars right there.
Oh, you should have heard me when I was playing. What was the name of it called? It was a RPG where you play the bad guys.
Ooh.
Overlord?
Overlord, yes. I especially liked using the voice for the what was his name? He was a very imposing character. A mask with flames coming out of it with multiple faces on all the sides. He led the Scarlet Chorus, and oh boy, was he such a fun character to voice! Because he was mad and crazy, but he was smart. He could outfox anyone, especially that pompous, puffed-up fellow with the gray beard and his, I wear iron. It's so much better than bronze.
Jesus, we need to make you the next Blood Bowl announcer. No joke.
One of the creepiest accents I've ever heard was Tom Ellis in season 5, part 1, Lucifer, where he plays his twin Michael. And he has an American accent.
That is so wrong. It's just so wrong.
Have you guys seen the where Tom Holland's talking about when people walk up to him on the street?
Oh,
and he's like, they don't. There's some people that didn't know that I was from the UK, so they're like, "Oh, you're Spider-Man," and he speaks. It's like, "Oh, I see." It's like, what is that supposed to mean?
Although my favorite voice to use has always been my character of Skald, a Gorn, serving the Klingon Defense Force in the gates of Stovacor.
Have you decided to stay with us? We would like you to stay with us forever and ever and ever.
I'm just saying, Sun can do like a mean Shodan. If she wanted.
Have you heard Sun's laugh?
Oh, her laugh is contagious.
She's also the voice
no.
She's also the voice of all my Twitch notifications.
Really?
That's great.
Yep, she did EVA units from Command and Conquer voiceover for me. Pretty good.
Battlefield Control Online.
I'm gonna have to find a voice trainer. I want to do this magical stuff. And with me getting surgery in October, I really should.
My best accent was when I was working at Apple. My boss told me, he goes, if you can hold an accent an entire call, you can do it. But he goes, if you mess up, you're fired. Okay. I had a 15-minute call where I had a Scottish accent. The customer was like, what?
Listen, laddie, you need to lower your voice. Stop shouting at me and I can probably help you. You might even make me want to help you if you calm down a tad. I miss voice acting. I had so much fun. All George's projects and Gates and everything else. It dried up thanks to Axonar. Fuck you, Alec.
There's no animosity there at all.
Just spit because he fucked one of my projects up too, and I would mind. No.
All right, I'm ready to go. How about you?
All
guys?
right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Justin, be sure to divide this into multiple bits later on.
You know I will because we're gonna be editing this one. Let's do it.
Bad Batch Episode 5. Amazon buys MGM, and the Teen Titans go to Space Jam. All of this and more tonight on The Real SuperGeeks. And welcome to tonight's episode of The Real SuperGeeks on this, the 28th of May, 2021. My name is Ross, also known as Live, Love, Play, the Eyebrows of Doom himself. And I welcome you all once again to this week's podcast. We got a lot to cover today, so let's roll right into it. Justin, if you would zoom me back out, please. Joining us this week, our wonderful cast. Sadly, Carlos is not going to be here with us tonight once again, and we continue to offer our sincere good vibes, positive thoughts, and hope to see you back again soon.
Speak for yourself. I'm liking having under 3-hour shows.
I'm trying to be positive, but okay.
Let's lead
off.
Positive to me. You all get to go to bed early.
Are you kidding?
Be a parent.
Yeah. We get done at 3 a.m. It's not fun. But I don't. Okay. Anyway, son, let's start with you today. We all want to know, where are you?
Well, considering I didn't turn I didn't turn off my camera, this is exactly where I am. In the inky black. The reason you can't see anything is because, well, I mean, I'm the only thing illuminated.
Seems kind of lonely.
Very lonely.
It's not lonely at all. I'm pretty much used to it. So,
well, all right. Next up, we have our man behind the curtain, the man with the hands on the keys, controlling and miscontrolling everything. Justin, our producer, how you doing this week? And you're muted. Speaking of miscontrolling.
Yeah. I'm miscontrolling, bad jokes like, this, but, it's been pretty good week. Busy. Very busy. I haven't had time hardly to work on anything. Hell, I almost forgot to watch Bad Batch this week. It's been so busy.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it's everything kind of come together. I've been trying to get stuff handled doctor-wise. It's been crazy. So I'm ready for this week, ready to wind down and have a good time.
All right. Nice long weekend to wind down, too.
Yes.
All right. Moving right along, we have our newest addition to the cast, the lovely, the ever geeky Raina. How you doing this week?
I'm doing good. I had actually kind of a rough week, but believe it or not, Travis pulled me out of the dumps this week and actually cheered me up. So, and I got some streams in with a questionably terrible game, but I love it still. Resident Evil 6.
Don't lie, you know it was Lane, not Travis.
Exactly.
And speaking of Travis and Lane, he will not be joining us this week either to take a mental health break, so we wish him the best as well. Rest, recover, and return strong, my friend.
Keep that weed safe.
Yes.
And enjoy your time with your families. You actually get to take it now that all of us are now vaccinated.
And wrapping up the introductions, our favorite guest. Please don't stab me with that mechlith, Commander Kirkley, aka Greg.
Hey guys, appreciate you guys having me back. I'm looking forward to it. It's been a good week. I had a really good live stream coming back into form on my YouTube channel, so I'm here for you guys, and we got a lot to talk about. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yes. And speaking of, let's roll right into our first topic this week. Rolling into our almost got it out of order there. The Bad Batch, episode 5. No more waiting, no more holding, no more filler. We're back in the action. We've got the bounty hunter behind us, and we're off to the planet of Onderon to try and find out more. What was your first thoughts about this episode? Let's lead with you, Greg.
First thoughts were I was glad it wasn't a repeat of The Mandalorian. I was looking forward to it. But I really liked the episode. First thoughts were right out of the gate. I appreciate them telling her, getting Omega up to speed, like, don't use your comms, don't do this. And she, for the most part, she followed the rules. So I really liked the pace of the episode. It was 22 minutes. It honestly felt like it was 45 minutes. It was very well paced. So I liked the episode this week.
Sweet. How about you, son? You get. We'll come to you at the end because you react to all of our impressions.
Yeah, because I don't watch the episodes.
Raina, how about you then?
I actually really liked it. It was nice coming out of all those filler episodes. And I like that Omega is learning something now in each episode. Yes. She's taking something with her, and it makes her feel like she's actually part of the team. And it's funny that she was kind of the MVP this time around.
Yeah.
And not to mention, I kind of like this new character, Sid. He's like that shady guy that it's like, I have information, but it's always at a cost. And I really like the voice actor that does his voice. Like, you can tell, like, my God, this guy's going to be so evil, but at the same time, he's evil.
That was Liam O'Brien.
Yeah, if I may, Raina, Canadian Bacon, Austin Powers, that was her.
What?
Yes.
Man. I was just going to say, like, that the voice acting was so good.
She did a great job.
Yeah, like, well, not even just that, but like even the ones that had them captured and everything, like, just it was really phenomenal this time around. I really enjoyed it, and a lot of good references too. So I overall it was a stellar episode. I think it was really good, especially compared to the last one.
I was thrilled to see that the baddie of this episode was voiced by Liam O'Brien, also from Critical Role. He is such an excellent voice actor. His voice is immediately iconic, even when he changes it to do different things. In fact, I based my my German accent off of his initial portrayal of Caleb in session number 2. Or a campaign 2 of Critical Role, and that was all over the place. That wasn't even close. Yeah. Anyway, this was such a fun episode, and yeah, Omega is turning out to be so much more insightful and quicker on the draw than the other guys. That's interesting. Maybe we'll find out more about why that is later. And Justin, how about you?
I actually enjoyed it as quick as I got to watch it this evening. It's like literally right before the show, but I was glad to see it was actually better paced episode. It wasn't like last week's. Last week's wasn't all that great. So I mean, it was okay, but not the best one I've had. But I'm liking the direction this is going. So yeah, overall, yeah, I'm very well impressed. I'm hoping they keep this pace going forward. We don't have many filler episodes like last week.
All right, quick before we keep going, Justin, throw up that spoiler warning.
Alrighty, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
So in this episode, we had the Bad Batch going to find an information broker to find out why a bounty hunter was after Omega. And in exchange for the information that she could give them, she sent them on a job to rescue a child. Come to find out, it's not a child, it's an adolescent rancor belonging to none other than Jabba the Hutt. We're going to rescue the baby Rancor that Luke eventually kills. And we get a name, Mochi.
I'm waiting for people to bitch about this name like they did with Grogu. Like, really? It has a name now?
Hey, Mochi's a good name for a Rancor. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
that's a great name. Now, when I go
They're
back and watch those
Mochi.
movies, I'm gonna call him Mochi because that's
You're Mochi. Get your dad, Mochi. Kill that pig man over there, Mochi. Ain't good, Mochi.
Oh wow!
Die, Mochi.
It gives just this little things in this episode give depth to so many things later on. Now you're gonna feel even worse for that Rancor when it dies.
You know what? And I actually liked I think my favorite thing was Omega having, well, we have a Hulk moment. When she pulled the Rancor out.
So let's spin right into that. Randa, tell us a few more of your favorite moments from this episode.
First of all, I like the whole setup in the beginning. There's like a very ominous presence around that whole area. And one thing for me is the atmosphere in this one. I love the dramatic shifts. But overall, my favorite thing, and it's funny because Omega was like my least favorite character when this show started, and she's like become my favorite. I actually like watching the antics she gets up to, and she's really coming into her own. But the biggest thing that I really enjoyed is they're letting her do these things. They trust her enough to do these things, and when that she's shown that she's capable, and I really like it because, to me that was the big thing they have to prove. When you have a child character, you have to really make them either one super interesting, or two, you got to make them useful. And I think that she is just absolutely proven her worth on this team.
Hey!
Whoa, say what?
Yeah.
Mainly here just to say a quick hello before I go to bed because I'm absolutely exhausted. I was up until 2:30 last night working on a story, or finishing editing, I should say.
Well, it's too bad we've got 2 Pokemon topics tonight.
I heard, and it's weird because I could probably tell you all about my roommate who has been going out of his way for Pokemon cards, and I could tell you about how he's had me like personally go to Target so that I could buy a box for him because he's reached his limit, and I could go I could talk about that. I am out of it. Lane,
Well, we know you're going to bed. Can Lane stay?
Well, you get some sleep, Travis. Rest well, and have a good rest of your weekend, man.
And remember, sweetie, that you are loved and appreciated by just your being you.
I appreciate
Forehead and all.
Feel better, Travis.
See you, Travis. Good night.
You guys in a couple weeks, actually. So,
all right.
Bye-bye.
Stay safe.
All right, Raina, you were let's finish your thought.
I'm going to say that this episode overall, it really is a good Omega episode. And I know that I keep kind of fangirling over her, but I really like her character now. And I think that she can carry episodes, and she's proven that time and time again. So she was my favorite part of this. Like, she literally went full on Assassin's Creed stealth mission through most of this, and I really enjoyed all of it. So it was good.
Justin, what were some of your favorite moments?
I watched it right before the show. Oh, sorry.
Speaking of mismanagement,
right? Keep going. Don't mind me.
I really didn't have a chance to process it too much, so I'll skip this one. I just literally watched it right before the show. I might give it another watch or I can actually process that one. So I'll give you my thoughts on that one next week.
Okay. Greg, how about you?
Pretty much kind of agreeing with Rain on most of the topics. I can appreciate, though, that Omega, even from the get-go, I can appreciate Omega is not a MacGuffin. She's being taught and trained by Hunter and Echo and them on what to do. So versus, I don't know, I'm trying to put not like a Michael Burnham, but it's like somebody who shows up like, oh, this is fixed. she's actually seen her being trained. They're like, hey, don't do this. Guess what she doesn't do? She doesn't do that.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. But it's like this episode is very clear to where, hey, only use this for communications and this and that. Of course, she tests it out, but then out on the mission, she's like trying to get their attention, can't get it. So then, of course, now she's understanding their signals. She sees them trapped down there, looks at Hunter, and he gives her the signal. She's like, okay, and then goes and gets the thing done. So I think she's become she's going to be a very vital part of the team. And the relationship between her and Wrecker is just going to be one of my favorite parts of the show. You got the big, like we talked about last week, the big brother, little sister dynamic between those two is just going to be absolutely great.
Hey, Greg, not a MacGuffin character, a.k.a. like Grogu.
Well, for me, there was a lot of fun things to like about this episode. The Rancor, the baddie voiced by Liam. I'm gonna fanboy over him all the time. But yeah, there's Omega. I really like how she's turning out in this episode. To me, she's more of the anti-Wesley Crusher.
Ooh, where's the ooh on that one?
It was coming. It was coming.
And that part,
but yeah, she's incredibly capable.
Yes,
in ways that works. She knows what she's doing, and she's able to take cues and pick up on them so much more quickly than the trained soldiers, which I think works to her character because she sees the world differently than they do. And seeing that play out, especially with her instinctively unlocking the gates so the Rancor can can cause a distraction so she can free everybody, it worked really well. And there's a lot to like. I also really like Sid. I think she's an interesting addition to the cast of characters of this show. And I have a feeling that that Hunter's going to go back. They're going to be relying on her to provide them information and funds going forward, if not necessarily trusting her.
What do we have? 11 episodes left. I wouldn't be surprised if we see her a couple more times. So,
oh yeah.
And my thing with the Rancor was my girlfriend and I were watching the episode. Immediately when I saw the Rancor, I'm like, that's the one that Luke kills. And my girlfriend was like, no, that can't be that one. I was like, yeah, this is set after Revenge of the Sith, and it's still a child. So it's like, this is the one that Luke ends up killing.
I kind of thought about that, but that when she was talking to what's his name? I watched the subtitle. Bib Fortuna. When she was speaking to him via hologram. I got, wait a minute, why is she talking to him? Why?
Right.
And two things first came to my mind. I thought, oh no, we're not going to see the baby Hutt again, are we?
Oh God.
And then second thought, wait a minute. This couldn't be the Rancor, could it?
And then it was like, yep, it's Rancor. Hey, who caught that bit right before they left on their mission with Wrecker having a headache, and he was holding the back.
That was 2 episodes ago.
No,
it
he
was
had
this
one
episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hunter, I think Hunter said something, and Wrecker's like, I've got this headache going on. So this is like the second time he's had some sort of headache.
So I'm wondering if that
and this seems to be reoccurring with some of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed where they kind of just pass it over and then they don't say anything. So it's kind of like that programming, I think, is still in work. Like it's still attempting connection.
Well, even with Crosshair, he had some very severe headaches after Order 66. So well, we know that Tech is working on a scanner to find and remove their chips. So we'll see what comes of that.
I think they were planting it. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think they planted the seeds with that one for that purpose. Because that seems to be a reoccurring thing.
It's not telegraphing, it's foreshadowing. It is a legitimate and very often used literary tool.
Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry. It's a trigger of mine from all the, no offense, Greg, the anti-discovery discussions out there. Oh, they telegraphed it. They're telling you what's about to happen. Foreshadowing.
Just like the captain's logs used to do in the old shows. They would tell you what is going on.
But you know what? Even in Bad Batch, like the foreshadowing itself is clever. Because like the things that are going to come, you can tell that they're going to be in play, but you never know when they're going to come into play. It's like they start working on something episodes way before. So I can't wait to see how this is going to play out. So
All right. Anything else you guys want to talk about specifically from the episode?
I'm
Any
curious.
standout moments?
Just really Sid, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
I know we're going to touch on that when her coming back, but the fact that the first thing Hunter says about Sid is Sid provided information to the Jedi of all people. So Sid is very much going to probably come off as like very anti-Empire, but at the same time, she's more or less going to be like, if somebody pays her enough, she's going to say anything. Like, it's like, oh, here's my prize, here's your intel, like they just did the mission for her. But I'm hoping she's like kind of like, I hope she's going to be one of those that helps them, because if she helped the Jedi, she's very clearly on the side of not good, but what's good for her.
And not to mention, she's probably going to come into contact with Crosshair, because he's going to know all the places that they're going to go, all the safe havens, all the places that they would have gone to.
He's going to guess them. Yep.
Ooh, Reyna, you just touched on something, I think.
Telegraphed. Oh, I'm sorry, foreshadowed.
Crosshair versus the bounty hunter.
Fennec?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to be opposed to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure Fennec is done, because I think on the casting it's Ming Na Wen was only in one episode according to the IMDb.
Or you know what?
IMDb isn't always reliable, though.
No, you're right. It's just that, like, with how many episodes I've seen in like lists so far, she's just listed in one.
Yes,
you know
but that
what?
can be added to later.
Here's my prediction. What I think is going to happen. And I'm going to throw my prediction in the ring right now with that. I think there's going to be an episode where we're going to find, that the Empire has hired her, and I think that Crosshair and her are going to have to go on some like teamwork thing, and I think he's going to betray her. I think that's what's going to end up happening.
I think if you're going to go along that route with how we've seen Fennec show up already, she's going to end up killing Crosshair.
Yeah,
he's going to betray her, and she's going to shoot him or kill him.
I think that Fennec has been hired by the Kaminoans to retrieve Omega.
Yeah,
but
that would make sense.
But Crosshair is hired by the Empire to retrieve the Bad Batch.
You got a point there.
Yeah, we did touch on that one last week, and that's why I think the Kaminoans hired Fennec is what it is.
Yeah, you know what?
Go ahead.
I was going to say that's actually a good point, Ross, because that would mean that their goals are actually kind of conflicting at that moment. The Empire doesn't even really care. Like, the Empire doesn't even really care, I don't think, about Omega. They care about eradicating the Bad Batch, where that bounty hunter wants Omega. That actually, Ross, I think you nailed the prediction. They're going to come to blows on that.
Unless we find out something about Omega that would make her of interest to the Empire. Until that happens, she's a non-entity, like you said, completely unimportant to them.
That's the point I touched on last week, that the Prime Minister of Kamino is walking out very clearly on something, sending a message, because you see him look back and they're clearly not a fan of Tarkin. As the Prime Minister is leaving, I'm pretty sure that's when they hired Fennec to retrieve Omega.
Yeah.
They only need one.
I'm pretty sure nobody's a fan of Tarkin ever.
Tarkin is.
Vader is. Hey, I like Tarkin. The original Tarkin, though.
Like, even Darth Vader was kind of like, with Tarkin.
Tarkin was the only one who commanded Vader. You see in Star Wars Episode 4, he goes, Vader, that's enough, release him, and Vader releases the guy. It's like, oh.
Yeah, that's because the Emperor actually held Tarkin held the Emperor's favor.
Actually, one of the best episodes of Clone Wars is actually when Anakin and Tarkin have to work together.
They became friends. That's
a fantastic episode, and foreshadows so much later on.
Yeah, a lot of people miss the fact that Tarkin was the one who's in command of the Death Star, not Vader. Vader was the enforcer who was there to make sure that the officers stayed loyal. He was the Emperor's inquisitor on the Death Star. Yeah. And they didn't even launch fighters until Vader issued the order. Tarkin just, not important. Anyway, Son, now that we have all gushed about the episode, what do you think about what we've talked about it so far?
Okay, so bear with me, Raina. This is going to be a terrible joke. Okay. It's nice to see that Sid grew out of torturing toys and came into her own.
Oh God.
Oh.
I mean, Ross is laughing.
I'm actually not gonna lie. That's actually pretty good. I think that's why I'm kind of just sitting here stunned. Like, well done on that one.
I thought that was pretty clever.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, hey Ross, remember last week when I said I hated cats? Yeah, I've got a cat.
Really, Justin?
So yeah, I made both a Toy Story joke and a transition joke.
Segue.
Speaking of cats, Ross, I'm sitting here watching yours run zoom back and forth in the
Do
background.
this all night long.
And every now and again, you'll just see him.
Yeah.
Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
So, any other thoughts, son?
At this point, no, there's not really a whole lot to go off of from you guys' description.
All
you guys
right.
were practically gushing about Sid the whole time. It's like, well, I guess I have to make some kind of joke.
I mean,
about
well,
Sid.
we all know Sid's going to probably either A, be around for a bit, or B, try to betray him. So, I mean, it's just a Star Wars.
Hey, you know what? Sid is the Zemo of this show.
Well, until I see Sid dance.
You wouldn't have a Star Wars scoundrel without at least one betrayal.
Exactly.
No, man.
So we'll get at least a Picaro probably for the next episode or two.
The moment Sid dance, I don't care. That episode's getting a 10. I don't even care.
Oh God.
All right. Final word, good or bad, Greg?
This episode was good. Best one since the series premiere. So of the 5 so far, this is the best one. It gave us a little more in-depth. We see Omega come into her own. The squad has now fully accepted her. Like, she's got her own gear. So this is really going to help them carry on. And honestly, I think they're going to use her in future missions. Like, hey, you're small. You can get past people. So I think it's going to happen like that. So I'm going to give this one 8 out of 10 hungry baby Grogus.
Raina, good or bad?
I think this episode's great. It's the best Omega-centric episode there is. And I would say, actually, I enjoyed it so much, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10.
Justin, good or bad?
Good. I rather enjoyed this one, even though I had to kind of like watch it the last minute. I guess it was very enjoyable. I would definitely give it a 9.
All right. And I certainly think this was a good episode as well. Every character got their moments. We get to see Omega really contribute and a lot of fun things to think about in the future. And I'm giving this 5 reps. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Okay. This is my gimmick now.
Every time Justin messes up a control, you got to do 5 reps.
I'm going to be strong, folks. Losing this gut.
It'll be like an order.
What if you do it on purpose?
Execute Order 66.
Veto.
That's 20.
Anyway, moving on.
But Ross, if you get swole, how will you fit into your Winifred Sanderson costume?
Your eyebrows will be smaller than your head. You'll won't know what to do with himself.
Sanderson.
Oh God, he's googling that while I'm here.
Okay.
He had to remember what Bette Midler looked like in Hocus Pocus.
Yep. Oh, book.
I said lose the guts. I'm losing the guts.
I don't know. It looks like you're really, really flexing out the arms there.
Well, I'm sitting down, so there's not much else I can do. I could start doing squats, though.
You could.
But don't.
That's way more distracting.
Oh. Too bad Joe left. He'd be losing his mind right now. But hey, we know you're tired. Get some sleep, man. Glad to have. It was nice to have you here for a little while at least.
Yes.
All right. So, in big news this week, the streaming wars has reached a new fever pitch with the news that Amazon has officially bought MGM, a legacy. This is a legacy studio with almost a century of film, TV, and art to its name, and it is all now belongs to Jeff Bezos. So,
Star Wars reboot. Star Wars reboot.
Stargate.
Oh fuck.
Wow, Justin! Wow! Wow!
Hey, look! I can't fault the boy for anything. I've for a couple of weeks ago, I did nothing but for 2 weeks, but continuously call it Star Trek
Why?
SG-1. So,
Why? Why would I do that? I know better. I know. I was staring at Stargate.
Oh man, that was good.
You know the worst thing about this? Like, I just can't stand it. I swear Jeff Bezos is trying to be like Bruce Wayne. Oh, this is your restaurant? I'm going to buy it now. Thanks. This
No.
place sucks.
Okay, here.
He's doing that with movie studios now.
Is a big Stargate fan.
Well, it should be noted that Jeff Bezos, although he has the controlling stake in Amazon, he is no longer in direct control of the company, as I understand it.
yeah,
Neither
No,
was
it's just Palpatine behind the scenes.
Yeah, that's Bill Gates with Microsoft.
I mean, he may not be the CEO, but he's literally the chairman of the board, essentially, because he's the one controlling stock share.
My lord, what shall we do?
He's Palpatine in the five-finger chair, the Last Jedi, sitting around giving all the orders to this Lord.
Jeff Bezos is Palpatine in the finger.
Yes.
He's Lex Luthor.
No.
Luther
was cool. Luther was cool.
So let's see. We've of the many things that now belong to Amazon. I'm trying to find an itemized list. This
Still waiting on that second age Lord of the Rings story.
Hollywood Reporter, format your articles better, please. Bullet list for some of these instead of having to hunt through paragraphs.
James Bond,
The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, The Underground Railroad, The Sound of Metal, One Night in Miami, Borat's subsequent movie film. Coming to America 2, everyone talking about Jamie, Thursday Night Football, The Hobbits, No Time to Die, James Bond.
James Bond franchise.
Yep, all the James Bond. Addams Family 2, Moonstruck, Thelma and Louise, Silence of the Lambs, Raging Bull. There is just so many. Oh, and
Police Academy.
Most probably a notable addition is The Apprentice.
Oh God.
MGM also produces The Handmaid's Tale for Hulu, the Shark Tank, Real Housewives of Orange County. We could spend an entire episode listing all the different things that Amazon now owns through MGM. But what does this mean to you guys? What does this acquisition mean to you guys? Let's start with Reina.
I think this is dangerous. Like, Amazon is really just encroaching on every avenue of turf, and I think that they're becoming that evil dystopian mega corporation at this point. They've started getting into the game development area, even though they failed drastically at that. But now they're going to start buying these like large scale movie companies and things. Like, to me, this just hits too close to home that they're going to control too much. And I don't think like people are taking this seriously, but like if you know MGM's history, that's a large history and a huge catalog you're ripping out of other people's hands. I don't know. I don't really like the idea of Amazon controlling that much. If they want a stake in everything, that's fine, but this is kind of like a threatening line purchase, in my opinion.
Wizard of Oz, West Side Story, Gone with the Wind.
Yeah,
West Side Story.
Freaking Oz.
And now they're talking about trying to make a bid on Tencent.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they want to
Yeah.
make a bid on Tencent. They made it apparently clear that was since their game studios in-house are failing, they want to take a bid on Tencent.
That is terrifying because Tencent is the biggest game company in the world.
But
I
that's
mean,
why I was saying it's a dangerous purchase.
Some
mean,
point, the federal government's got to step up here and be like,
on-
"Hey, look, no."
See,
on the plus side, it wouldn't be owned by China anymore, but on the negative side, it's Amazon.
Now I can
Exactly.
actually see the U.S. going for that to get it out of China's hands because I guess they're trying to heat up, anti-China this, anti-China that, and
Well, China's a story all of its own anyway.
yeah, exactly.
Let's not forget the fact that Disney literally just gobbled up Fox,
Mhm.
then took control of Hulu,
Yep.
ESPN.
and the FCC was like, okay,
Yeah.
I don't
I can
think
see
I
Amazon
don't
being
think
threatened.
I don't think the FCC is going to do shit for Amazon gobbling up a Chinese company.
Well, now to be fair with the Fox deal, it was certain franchises and certain things from it. They made them split those components apart. It wasn't just like they got everything in Fox related. It's they got certain like trademarks and certain names and certain characters and
Yeah,
things
The
like
entire back
Yes,
catalog.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and no. Yes and no. Disney purchased everything from Fox outside of Fox News.
And
They didn't
sports.
want to touch that.
See, I thought that they had split these purchases up. Did they buy all of Fox? Is that
Yeah, for what was it,
Yeah.
70 billion?
They bought everything but the news side and the sports side.
They
Yeah.
even bought the 20th Century Studios,
Yes.
which separates the 20th Century from Fox.
Oh,
That's
see, I
probably
didn't
what
know
you're
that.
meaning.
Yeah, no,
I-
when Disney went all in on that
Wow.
deal.
See, this is okay. Now, if Amazon does this, they've got to draw a line somewhere.
This is
Like-
why I say the Telecommunications Act of 96 should have never happened. It allowed this shit to happen.
And with Bezos, I swear he's doing this as a flex. This isn't even a business purchase. I'm telling you, it's like, hey, did you guys see this new Lambo I bought? So what? I bought MGM.
This is like
It's-
Todd Howard going, I want to make a Fallout-like game. And the studio going, well, then let's just buy Fallout.
And that's what they did.
And that's what they did.
Or Elon Musk
Okay, let me-
making his bunker house.
Todd
Wow.
Howard's not flexing on anybody. I'm sorry.
Excuse me, Todd Howard flexes on everybody when he can sell Skyrim for the 7th time.
No, he clips through the wall, then does it.
In fact, it's not even flexing anymore. It's just teabagging on you poor people who keep buying Skyrim.
Now available on LG smart refrigerators.
Hey, the mission isn't complete until I can play it on my toaster. I'm just saying. They got work to do.
Justin,
So this-
how about you? Oh, Greg, go ahead.
Okay, this deal is just like, from a standpoint of entertainment, it makes no sense for Amazon to buy it. They're not a powerhouse in the entertainment industry. Yeah, yes, they have Amazon Prime. There's the newest show, Invincible. The Boys is absolutely murdering it, pun intended. Coming to America proved Eddie Murphy still has it as far as comedy is concerned. So it's like, yeah, they can fund this stuff, but unlike Disney, which Disney went and bought Star Wars, they went and bought Marvel, now they went and bought Fox. Disney can back up because they've been in the entertainment industry. Amazon's like, they bought a gaming company. There's like, they can't do gaming. In my area of schooling with physics, we're laughing at their Blue Sky or Blue Origin project because it's trash. I'm sorry. So now Bezos is like, okay, instead of spending $100 billion on this, I'm going to go buy this for $9 billion. Sure, they get this back catalog of movies, but they've announced this Lord of the Rings series. For me, this is their failure. This Lord of the Rings series is like, okay, you go and drop $500 million on a production budget with nothing to show for it. Now you go and buy something for $8.4 billion. I mean, so you're just going to not do Lord of the Rings now? Like, obviously they're still going to do it, but it's like, it's like, as someone saying, it's dangerous monopoly. This is the start of it. The FCC is probably going to look into this and challenge it the way they did with Fox and Disney, the way they did with Sprint and T-Mobile, Verizon and AirTouch back in the day, but at the end of the day, the FCC is going to sit there and be like, no, we're going to let it go through. You're going to see the legal process happen, and then a year later, the deal is going to close.
So the FCC approved it.
It's going to get challenged in court, so they're going to have to go through a court. Like the Sprint T-Mobile merger got approved on the spot too, but they had to go through court because somebody challenged it as a monopoly. That's going to happen with Amazon and MGM.
And again, that challenge was defeated because of the 96 Telecommunications Act.
Oh, and guys, I'm actually looking right here. They had put a bid on Riot Games, and Riot Games turned down their bid.
Good for them.
Yeah. Well, Riot's they're in Tencent's pocket right now.
Which is probably... See, I think that's what's going on, is if they're not going to get their way with Tencent, they're going to try and buy out all the companies that are under Tencent. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do that. But I don't know how that works if they're under that umbrella, if they can even overstep that.
Well, they'd have to buy it out from Tencent, and Tencent really doesn't have much need for they don't need to sell anything right now.
I think okay, you know what? They want to buy MGM. All right, fine. They've established themselves within the, at least somewhat, in the movie sphere and the TV sphere. However, I think if they start getting into avenues like music and games again, if they start buying big companies in that's where this is going to become concerning. MGM's one thing, but that should be their one big purchase. But I'm telling you, if they start buying other stuff, it's going to be really, really bad.
All right.
I'm just looking forward to the 2024 remake of the 1926 silent movie and romantic comedy classic, The Boob.
Is everybody ready for James Bond SG-1?
All right, we're almost on our first hour, so let's move into the next topics of the week. For Star Trek, we got a few interesting bits of interviews from this week. John Delancey, in a series of cameos. If you don't know what Cameo is, it's a service that allows you to commission brief video call-outs from celebrities. And John Delancey has been doing a bunch of these and leaking little tidbits about the production of Star Trek Picard
because
Season 2.
What are they going to do? Fire Q?
Or it might be a bit of viral marketing on their part.
One does not simply fire Q. Q fires you.
Well, and in one of his latest cameos, he revealed that not only is he working with Patrick Stewart again, but he's also working with, quote, Brent.
Well,
so,
duh. No shit, Sherlock. Guy was still alive at the end of the season.
Referencing the not so young biological son of Dr. Soong, who created android bodies, who built the golem that Patrick Stewart's Captain Picard now inhabits.
So either Brent's
family is just fucked up.
Yeah.
So either Brent is coming back to play soon, or he's going to be Data in a flashback. Because since this is going to be very time travel heavy for the next 2 seasons, since Delancey's going to be there, my guess is either he's going to be soon, like something's going to happen to Picard, he's going to make a house call, or we're going to go to a flashback sequence, I don't know, maybe somewhere between Insurrection, Nemesis, or in that area, and we're going to see them interacting in some fashion. So Brent's going to end up playing a younger Data, if you will. Maybe at the very least, voicing him.
I have a feeling it's going to be Q interacting with Soong, gently ribbing him for building android bodies and giving Picard or at least a hand in his new existence as a synthetic being.
You know, here's a good question for the Soong family: is Mama Android still alive?
Maybe.
No. She actually, that was stated, and I forgot to tell the episode, but in TNG, she was actually to have her body cease functioning after a certain period of time. When Data accesses the program, she's meant to live a full, long life and then die eventually. So she should be dead by now.
Would she?
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Like, humanity is able to live a whole hell of a lot longer than what we do.
I mean, she
No,
was
that's-
only what, in her 50s when we
No,
saw
she
her.
she was in like her 70s or
70s.
80s.
Was it 70s?
Yeah.
She looked
'Cause
remarkably good for 70.
like-
even
like-
Her and Noonie they got married young.
Yeah, but like at that point right there in like the Star Trek universe, people were living well past their hundreds.
Well, McCoy in TNG was what, 130?
Mhm.
Was that right?
Well,
So-
I think they chalked that to his Vulcan experience.
Yeah, but I mean, like he was. Okay, Picard, for instance, Picard is going to be well into his 70s. His body is expected to give him another 20 to 30 years, according to Soon. So he's gonna die, but the body he's
10.
Okay, maybe 10 to 20. Sorry, but either way, he's going to live quite a lot longer than he was going to originally because of the body. So my guess is
I thought he said he would live maybe if before. I got the impression that it wasn't going to be
explicitly said a time frame for him living. The time frame that was given was for Soong's body, but then they put Picard in the body.
No, because Picard asked, he goes, "Oh God, I'm not immortal, am I?" He laughs, he goes, "No, you should get about 20 years out of it." I'll have to go back and watch it, and he could just not give a time frame. But so if Data's mom is still alive, then this is what, 1994, 93. So 30 years. 30 years later.
No.
So she very well could be alive, but I don't think the actress is alive, so they might have to recast.
If she shows up.
If she shows up, right. If she shows up.
That's the thing. It's like all this shit's going on, and it's like you've got like synths are allowed to be synths again, and it's like, hey, kid of Soong, call your mom. We know she's not like your real mom, but call your mom.
Well, see, that'll be interesting because Data, that was kind of her mom. This Soong, okay, I mean, he's old enough. But I mean, okay, it would be retconned, but it wasn't say that they physically had a child. They treated Data and Lore as their children.
Lore.
All right. So we got we've got Brent coming back. We knew he probably was. I think we mentioned that when we reviewed Picard when it first aired. Along the lines of new Star Trek, we've also got Trek movies review of Star Trek Discovery Wonderlands, which covers the year that Michael and Book spent as what were they called again? I forget.
Couriers.
Couriers, yes.
Couriers.
And it is a fairly positive review. It was written by Una McCormick, a very well-regarded Star Trek author, and they recommend reading it. So, what do you guys? Have any of you guys read this book yet?
Not yet, but from what I've seen of it, just the synopsis of it and the positive reviews on it, I want to give it a look. I've seen people say that they should have done this for part of last season to kind of lead into the Burton story for that year that Michael was with Book, where he rejoined the ship, and they could actually film this. It would have probably made the season a lot better, but given their new series number limits, I guess they can't obviously do that, but it probably would have made the season flow a lot better. But it really fills in a lot of the gaps, everything I've seen on it. So it's definitely on my to-get list.
Let's see, the synopsis. An entire year passed for Commander Michael Burnham between when she crash-landed in the 32nd century at the beginning of the Season 3 premiere of Star Trek Discovery, and when she was reunited with the Discovery and her crew at the end of the second episode of the season. What was Burnham doing for that entire year? What about Adita Sahil, the lonely Starfleet relay station operator? And what exactly went down between her and Cleveland Booker during all those quiet nights on his ship?
She was playing Star Trek Space Vegas.
She was playing poker under the sheets.
They were playing hide the sausage.
Literally.
Wouldn't that be fine, the sausage?
Or they were just relaxing and relaxing
Playing
with
peekaboo?
Queen.
You know, Book is one of these weird little animal telepaths. They could have used animals.
Oh, God.
What? Well, they did have that weird squid thing for a while. So,
Any other thoughts on the book?
I was actually, as much as I bashed Discovery, I was honestly looking forward to that being short treks. Give us like 3 or 4 short treks to give us an insight in the now. Book isn't bad, but I was expecting. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I'll read it, give it a shot, but it's like with the whole year missing, I was like, oh, we'll probably get short treks out of it. We're not.
I don't know if we're getting short treks this year. I thought we would at least, but
No,
I
there's too
thought-
much going on for them to do short tracks. There's literally too much going on.
yeah, I haven't heard anything one way or another that we're going to do it. Even Section 31's up in the air right now. As of
The
last
only
week.
problem with this book is it's not canon.
Jesus.
It's canon to itself.
Yes. Books are canon in their own universe.
Wait, books or Cleveland books?
Well, there's not much else to talk about really in Trek this week. We
Star
have
Trek Online.
we have that, but who else plays Star Trek Online?
I haven't
Me.
played it.
I know you have. I know you do. Son. Have you played the latest episode yet,
Yeah.
Justin?
Not yet. It's on my list. I
Raina?
always go back to play the latest one.
Morena?
Raina?
No. I
Okay.
haven't. No.
If it's okay with you guys, how about we hold it till next week when we've all had a chance to play?
Then Carlos will be back and he'll be like, no.
Too
And
bad.
we will override
We'll
him
overrule him.
because we will
we-
shut
can
him
we-
down.
Can we vote Ross new
Okay.
host?
Okay. Well, there you go. That's a way around that.
See, Carlos can take it away from the Trello, but I can add it to the Trello.
And I can edit back as well.
Exactly.
All right. Going into something we actually, for some reason, don't do that often here on the Real Super Geeks. We're going to talk about gaming.
Oh,
Yes.
now you know Carlos in here.
Yes. We've got more than Pong to talk about this week. This week, we're going to talk about Pokemon. And Reina, being one of 2 Pokemon experts on this show, currently on the show, I should say, why don't you lead in with this story?
Which story is it? The cards or the game?
Greg would
the card.
actually want to get the
I'll
story.
do the cards if you want to have the game.
Diamond and Pearl being remade. It's wonderful. And everyone's complaining about the art style, but I love it. I love that they're taking that old school approach to it because Sword and Shield was like a vast ocean, but as deep as a puddle. So it's nice for them to take it back to it. I don't think there's much wrong with Diamond and Pearl, except that it was very slow paced. But they claim that the pacing issues that they had in those games are going to be basically fixed, and a lot of additions are going to be made. Very excited about this. And I actually hope that they go back and they use this art style for a lot of those games because it's gorgeous. Like, despite it being over the top, it's gorgeous. And not to mention, it gives us one of the best Pokemon to ever come out, Weasel. I'm just saying.
Weasel
here's the
being
thing.
our own very favorites, good boy Lane.
And
I don't know if
actually,
he's really good considering, all the stuff he's seen.
and actually,
Carlos.
Hey, he keeps Travis sane and happy. That makes him a good boy.
Yeah,
and
but he's also stuck around Carlos. And we all know how Carlos gets.
and actually, it's one of the introductions of one of my favorite Pokemon, Lucario. So which is
Yes.
another Gen 4. So I'm very excited for this. I like that they're letting another team handle remakes so they can focus on the main stuff that they want to work on at Game Freak. I think it's very smart. You can't really mess up a remake too bad if you keep to the original and what made it special in the first place, which it seems like they're doing. So I'm very excited about this one.
I mean, people were going to cry about the art regardless. At least they tried to keep it somewhat near the original, and they just made it, a little bit updates. I mean, people will complain no matter what they did.
I'm so far behind. I've never played a DS Pokemon game, so that goes back quite a ways.
The Game Boy Advance SP days.
So I'll just sit here and play Pokemon Uranium. Thank you.
I've never played a Pokemon game. I played a Pokemon knockoff game called Exodus.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it was about a world invaded by monsters. You could talk to the monsters and convince them to join your team, and then you'd fight the demons with the demons that you recruited.
That sounds like Pokemon.
It's Pokemon meets Persona.
I played a version of Pokemon Go.
Going off what Rand said with the game, so Diamond Pearl's getting a remake, and I'm not against the remakes. I'm just like, I'm tired of it in a way because, like, okay, we got all these remakes. It's like when they did Pokemon Let's Go, it was a remake of the Pokemon versions of Pokemon version Yellow. So it's like, okay, that was fun, but now it's like, it's gonna be like, oh, hey, we're rehashing it. Dude, it's like, come on. But the game that we want to touch on that I know Rand is looking forward to is Pokemon Legends Arceus. This one, I would love to have been there for the pitch meeting, for this person to walk in, the producer or whatever, and be like, we're going to do a Pokemon game, but with Breath of the Wild. Because it looks very much open world in this Pokemon game. Ditto the goat. It's very much it looks very much like an open world game. You can clearly run across this open field. And I'm thinking, like, okay, somebody had to have gone from Legend of Zelda and be like, hey, let's combine these two ideas. And Pokemon Legends Arceus is very much a prequel to everything Pokemon related. The three starters are known as Cyndaquil, Rowlet, and Oshawott. And there's a history behind that. I forgot to pull up the article as to why each of those are there. But Oshawott evolves to a final form called Samurott, which is Japanese going there, samurai, and so on. Cyndaquil is chosen, and it evolves into something called Typhlosion, which in Japanese translates to Shogun. So these are very much Japanese-centric picks. So the people are like, oh, well, why do they have different starters from different generations? That's why. They carry very old-school Japanese-centric themes. So Arceus is looking to be probably one of the bigger games of 22 that, honestly, I think is going to sell out the second they start doing, like, the second it releases, it's going to probably crash websites.
Now, I will say, this is a cautionary tale. I was very excited about our Arceus. However, I was expecting it to come out later, and that demo is rough. It is very, very rough. Clipping, glitching, it's a mess. And for it to come out this soon really scares me. And Game Freak has never, ever done something this ambitious. So it really makes me nervous. The reason that I'm kind of siding with the Diamond and Pearl remakes is there's really not much you can mess up on those. And if you carry to that, but this is something that Game Freak is going to have to prove because this is a big deal that we're going open world with Pokemon. Because if they mess this up, it could mean we never have this again.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted them to kind of like even shoot for summer next year because that would have been the prime time to get that out the door.
See, what they did, what this is coinciding with, I think the rumors are going to pop out to be true, possibly for E3. Splatoon 3 is very heavily rumored, Breath of the Wild 2, and I honestly think that the rumors are going to come true that the Switch Pro, a new console, is going to be announced and launched with Arceus as a combo deal for the holiday season. Since Xbox and PlayStation very roughly got theirs out, Nintendo can sit back and be like, having taken the extra year, like, we've got a new game and a new system, go have fun. And Arceus is coming out in January, so I think they're going to work out. I think Game Freak's going to sit back, work out those kinks, and maybe because you did the demo, it wasn't on a Switch Pro. They're going to come out and say, like how Twilight Princess was on the GameCube versus the Wii. They're going to be like, hey, you're going to want to play this on the Switch Pro, not the Switch.
Okay, I have a question. Raina, when did the demo for this game come out?
So I believe this was I think it was in Greg may be able to correct me on this, but I think it was on a Direct Mini for the Pokemon anniversary, which was in February.
It would have
Okay.
been, might have been, yeah.
So, and it was really rough. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a pretty long development time. It's almost a year. But it's one of those things where Game Freak is not tested in this capacity. They have the staff for it, but it's just like we've seen companies with like 4 or 5 people do better work than, a company with like 1,000 people.
Right.
So it doesn't mean anything.
Well, see, I asked this question specifically because in my mind, like all the little gears turning, it would make sense to me if Nintendo was having trouble getting Metroid Prime 4 off the ground, so that they then shifted it back to Retro Studios, and then were able to give Game Freak access to their assets and stuff.
Oh, Metro Prime 4 is an absolute train wreck right now. When I saw it was announced, I absolutely lost my collective mind. And then I saw they canceled it, and I went to a different company, and I was like, now it's in production limbo. I'm sitting here like,
Greg, we're on reboot number 4 that they restarted this project.
So long as it doesn't turn out like another Other M. Please.
oh, Lord.
All right, we got one more Pokemon topic. Apparently, with the pandemic has inspired a renewed interest in Pokemon card collecting, as well as the explosion of card pack openers, such as yourself, Greg.
Yes.
And as such, it's caused a bit of a backlog or overwork for rare card appraisers. Is that right?
Yes. So basically what happened is the pandemic happened. 2 things happened that contributed to the Pokemon thing. The Paul brothers, everybody's favorite scumbags.
Oh, God.
What happened in last year is that this Logan Paul, the older of the 2, and I stress older because he's still young, was like, oh, Pokemon was my thing back in the day. I'm like, this kid is not old enough to say that. He went and dropped $2 million worth of Pokemon cards. He bought these old school booster boxes that at the time were going for about $1,000. These booster boxes now are going upwards of $200,000 to $300,000. So what he did is he bought 6 of these boxes, spent $2 million, and he opened them live on his channel and had an appraiser with him saying every card he pulled is like, oh, this is a 10-point worthy card. This is a 10-point worthy card. No. To get a 10-point worthy card from somewhere like PSA, it takes months of a process to grade this card to get a scale from a 1 to 10 grade. They judge on centering, the surface, the corners, everything like that. So that was step 1. Step 2 was the pandemic. I remember going on eBay, getting a box of cards that was $50. That was the retail price. That same box I looked up in March was $350. And the prices absolutely skyrocketed. And the backlog you mentioned is that PSA put out an announcement. They have graded and received more submissions in the last 6 months than in the last 10 years combined. So, yeah, they are on a complete backlog. They actually just released another statement. They went from their prices, they doubled all their prices. So if it was $300, it's now $600, and so on and so forth. But they released a statement just about 2 weeks ago, that they are caught up, but they are not. They have suspended all submissions until the beginning of July, where they have said, and they are very blunt on their website. They are expecting to shut down again within the first month of accepting submissions.
Damn.
And this isn't just affecting card gaming. This is affecting gaming across the board because everything from computers to game controllers to game consoles is in short supply right now because everybody's everybody's back in the game. I'm trying to get an Xbox One S. I mean, it's the damn One S. You can't get it as soon as it goes on sale anywhere. Gone.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, right now. And for instance, like Pokemon cards, and I mentioned this earlier, when I go on my stream, I do these openings. I literally will go to a Walmart now, my local Walmart, and I go wait in line about 5:30 in the morning. I go at 5:30 in the morning. I'm up at 5 anyway. I have a small child, but I'll get up and I'll go. By the time I get there at 5:40, there's already usually 5 to 10 people ahead of me. People get there at midnight and 1 a.m. and they just camp out. And these are the scalpers that Ross just mentioned. That these boxes was like this box right here, this blue box right here, retail goes for $45. Scalpers will go and take that box, and they are charging $70, $80 a box. And people are paying it because these scalpers will go. Walmart does not limit. And we'll get to Target in a second. Walmart doesn't limit. So if they have 10 of those, one person will go and grab all 10, spend the $450, turn around and try to make $700 to $900 off of them. That's why Raina can't find cards at Walmart where this was like.
And places like Target have suspended all in-person sales. They're still providing them online because jackasses can't be nice to each other.
Like,
correct.
I actually went out earlier in the week because me and my friends want to pick up a game to play. Mm-hmm. We were like, okay, we're kind of done with our tabletop phase. We switch back between tabletop and card games usually. So we'll always pick up something new every season around the summertime. And I was like, you know what? I never played Magic. I never got into Pokemon hardcore like I wanted to, and I'm a big Pokemon fan. And not only did they take the Pokemon cards out of all stores in my area, Magic you can't get,
right?
Vanguard, all the football cards, baseball cards, like the whole section is clear with tape around it. And it says you have to ask an associate. Well, when you ask an associate, they're gone. You can't find any of it. So this little shortage is now affecting into other gaming markets. And I know it's gotten so bad that my Walmart's gotten kind of like overprotective with how crazy things have gotten. And they've even now they're keeping their actual video games in the back. Like, where you could view them before, there's just a sticker there now and a printout of what the game looks like.
So they've done the GameStop thing.
Yeah, where you have to go and find someone to bring it all the way from the back forward.
Ugh.
Yeah, and it's got bad with the cards. What Ross mentioned with Target is that a guy went and even by Pokemon, he had a box of sports cards, walked out, got jumped by 4 people.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
What broke up the fight was he pulled out his gun, didn't shoot, but the second he got a hold of his gun, pulled it, and these guys ran. And everybody's like, oh, and now the story is being misconstrued because the police reports confirmed legally owned the gun, was in self-defense. So, but the 4 guys are charged with assault and battery, and Target at that day said no longer selling cards because of the incident. And some Walmarts across the country have taken that same initiative, and they've stopped selling cards.
This is why we can't have nice things, people.
Exactly.
Be nice to each other. Be kind to each other.
But yeah, they allow things like Black Friday to happen whenever this type of stuff happens.
Anyway,
well,
let's move on to our.
I was just going to say one thing before we move on. Sorry about that. No, I was going to say the one benefit from this all, though, we have one guy here that runs a private store. It's giving him mad business. He's not locking up anything. He's like, look, if I have it, you could buy it. So.
If I may, real quick, Russ, that's the thing with these places now stopping selling cards. Go to your local game shops because that's where I go. We have a local game shop here in Curtis called Super Gamers. They get a healthy stocking of cards, but they took the initiative from the get-go. It is 1 item per person per family. So these boxes I have here, instead of going to Walmart and being able to buy all 10, well, they'll have 10, but you get 1 per day. So they're able to keep the stock, and people can go in and actually get stuff. And they do overcharge. Like, so this is another thing you're going to come across.
Uh-oh. No. Nah, Greg's froze.
Oh, no. Well, while we wait for him to come back.
I was gonna say, Raina, I thought you were going to say that the best thing about this is that nobody is buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Because who the fuck wants to do math?
Well, Yu-Gi-Oh is back. There it is.
Okay, so sorry, I was continuing my point. Is that what's going to happen is instead of these boxes being, like I said, 45, these black ones were 60 retail. My local game store, they charge more to help prevent scalpers. So it's like they're going to charge $70 for that same blue box, but it's to help with collectors. For case in point, Raina saw me pull this tonight. This little card right here goes for $100 easy. Somebody will pay $100 for this card. And I pulled that tonight on my stream, and then this one right here is one of the rare ones. This one will go between $300 and $500. And so it's like, yeah, I can go and get a box for $45, and I'll end up pulling a $300 card. So what I'm going to say is support your local game stores at this point. I've always said that because I like like my local game store. They do tournaments now for Pokemon, Magic. They're going to start doing more Hammer. They're going to start up Yu-Gi-Oh. So,
I mean, your local store, you're what would definitely.
Hey, Greg.
Those guys.
My local game
$50.
store finally opened up for their game rooms again, so I'm finally expect to see some Live Love Play battle reports sometime in the near future.
Yeah.
I've been scrolling through the list, and I finally figured it out. I figured out why Jeff Bezos and Amazon bought MGM.
Why comes?
He wants to make a sequel to A Christmas Story.
I told you, people. He's trying to be Bruce Wayne and just buy his fantasies right now, man.
Moving on from the tabletop, we now go to video games and kind of movies. This past week was Sony's State of Play, where we saw the teasers for 2 upcoming titles that I know I'm excited about, and I know Sony is too. And maybe a few guys too. We saw our first gameplay trailer for Horizon the Forbidden West, and I can tell you, I can't tell you how absolutely stoked I am for this game. Horizon Zero Dawn was the highlight of the PS4. It's why I bought the damn console. So to finally get the sequel, not only on PS5, but also on PS4, I won't have to buy the console right away, which makes me happy. That's money I can't spend right now. But just the video looked amazing, and I can't wait to play it. Have you guys seen it?
Yes.
Saw the trailer. It does look amazing.
It looks amazing.
But I will always be Xbox. I will never buy a PlayStation.
Well, your loss.
So sadly, I actually missed the presentation, but like they had hours of like a countdown thing, and it was nothing but landscapes from Horizon. And so that's the reason I went to sleep.
I will say that after this, I have been with Xbox since the 360. I've never owned a PlayStation console since the original PlayStation 1. I will be buying a PS5 when I can find one.
Or you could just wait 5 or 6 years until it comes out on Steam.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn is out on Steam, so if you want to play it, you don't have to break your loyalty to Xbox.
I stand corrected. I bought my girlfriend a PS4, so there's I have touched a PS4.
Well, surprisingly, the game that sold me on the PS5 is one that I didn't even think I'd care about, but I just love the art style. Is the new Ratchet and Clank game?
That looks like fun too.
It looks gorgeous.
What sold me for PlayStation is I have played it, but I never technically owned one. But for me, it's always been God of War. Like that would be the one game that would get me to buy the PlayStation, is because I love that sort of premise, and it absolutely kills as far as ratings and gameplay. So God of War is great.
If you do end up getting a PS4, I also highly recommend Death Stranding.
Oh, I played Death Stranding at someone else's place because I was so curious about this game. I'm like, you're gonna stand aside, and I'm gonna play this.
I spent months streaming that game. It was amazing. But also in the State of Play, we also got our first previews of Far Cry 6. Sun shared her thoughts on the initial reveal trailer a few months ago. Sun, have you seen the new preview?
I have not, but I hope Giancarlo Esposito is in a whole hell of a lot more than just like the opening sequence, because that's how it appeared from the trailer.
In this case, it actually follows our protagonist, a female guerrilla fighter who is showcasing the different environments and tactics it takes to take on Giancarlo.
Ah, okay.
Well,
that'll be neat. If the way we got the teaser trailer, we kind of always assumed that it was the kid that would turn against his father, and now we've got the opposite, where the father's pretty much probably going to be the antagonist for the whole thing.
We will see. Have any of the rest of you guys, have you seen or heard this trailer?
No, I knew Far Cry.
I
I knew it was coming
Far
out, but I
Cry.
haven't seen the trailer.
I want to watch it here.
I used to be a huge Far Cry fan. I've seen this trailer and I am impressed. They've come a long way, but after 5, I really lost interest.
So here's the big question.
Why's that?
I just find, like, don't get me wrong, I find the stories really compelling, but I just find the mechanics just kind of getting old. It feels very recycled. I think story-wise, they always nail it every time. It's just the mechanics.
You're tired of clicking Ubisoft towers to discover the map.
I'm tired of that. I'm tired. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think it's like, oh, cool. You know, you overtake bases, you liberate those territories, but it's like they never feel unique to me. Like the territories, they never inherently have like some special mechanic to them that makes them feel different from one another. And I feel like they could really benefit from that. But, you know, I'm always in for the story, so chances are I'll probably pick this up.
Something you were about to say.
So here's the big question. You saw the trailer, Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel even more like Cuba?
Yes, because the vehicles are all repurposed, rebuilt, and maintained machines from the 50s, except for the Humvee. But there's a lot of repurposing old machines. You've got a Gatling gun that's built from a motorcycle engine that's got a ripcord start.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's built from a motorcycle engine. It has a lawnmower rip chain on it.
It gets better. There is a DVD-R launcher weapon.
Okay.
That plays the Macarena.
Oh.
So it's a dubstep gun. It's just a Cuban dubstep gun.
Cuban wubs, man.
It's the final scene of the trailer where she's sneaking up behind a guard, and you hear the Macarena playing as the disc is spinning. And every time she fires the weapon, it pauses, and then she reloads. Macarena.
It literally is the dubstep gun from fucking Saints Row.
I'm watching it now.
I'm getting some serious like Shaun of the Dead vibes with the records right now.
Ubisoft even hired the hacksmith to actually build the weapon. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't watched it yet, but he actually built it.
Sorry, I just saw that on his YouTube channel. He built it. Oh my god, that makes so much more sense now.
He actually built it. All right, and in additional news about Sony, Sony's actually planning to take some of its most notable PlayStation franchises and spin them off into movies. We've seen them do this with Ratchet and Clank to fairly good.
That movie's excellent. It was so good that it broke Ross.
I enjoyed that movie. Like Ghost of Tsushima, Sonic the Hedgehog, which is getting a sequel. We've gotten several different Tomb Raider movies, but we're also getting the Uncharted movie. So, and with the success of Mortal Kombat,
let's be honest, the Uncharted movie's been in its own production limbo for fucking ever.
True enough.
Right.
True enough.
I'm gonna tell you something. My sister had a PS2, and the movie that deserves to be made by the Ratchet and Clank animators is damn Sly Cooper. Where is my Sly Cooper movie?
Yes. I'd be happy with another Sly Cooper game. Where is it?
Next, you guys are gonna want Spyro.
Can't we just have a Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Yes. Hey, Rare's owned by Microsoft. They've got the money now. Let's see it.
Do.
But you know what? Sony's already got a plan in play because they got the Last of Us TV show coming out that they're working on right now. So
Rare is owned by Microsoft. Where the hell is the perfect dark prequel on Steam? Thank you. or games for Microsoft. Whenever the hell they're going to abandon that.
They're too busy making crappy games like Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves isn't bad. I don't have much interest in it, but
boring.
It's not bad.
It's boring.
It's okay when it works.
All right. Ooh. Wrapping up our games talk, we've got a few things from the world of DC. First and foremost, we've got another Teen Titans Go video coming out. In this case, Teen Titans Go meets Space Jam. The synopsis. In Teen Titans Go, see Space Jam. The Teen Titans are visited by the Nerdalux, the iconic Space Jam villains who tried to capture Michael Jordan, and the Looney Tunes. Astonished to discover his fellow Titans had never seen Space Jam, Cyborg organizes an exclusive watch party. Of course, if the Titans are watching a movie, they don't expect silence to be golden. Raven and Starfire provide their commentary. Cyborg presents the fun facts. Beast Boy points out all the butt shots. And Robin, well, Robin doesn't trust their new alien friends. Are the Nerdalux here to attend an innocent watch party? Or do they have more sinister motives up their sleeves?
So wait a minute. They MST3K the original movie and then go and meet the Space Jam monsters.
Well, the Space Jam monsters show up, and that inspires the MST3K of the movie.
Bring us back, old Teen Titans Cartoon Network, please. I will give you my left hand.
Hey, they did in Teen Titans Go versus the Teen Titans.
Yeah, but the thing is, just bring the old show back. Just continue it from where you left off. I will give you my arm. I'm offering you my arm if you do this.
You know, I kind of felt that way at first when Teen Titans Go came out, and then I actually watched Teen Titans Go, and it's a lot better than I thought it would be.
Says Dad of the Year over here.
Wait a minute. That like just hesitation and defeatedness in your voice as you said, better than I thought it would be.
Guys, Cartoon Network, I think they got Ross.
Like,
look,
I'll be
the
honest,
show.
First impressions are important. And my first impression of Teen Titans Go was watching the fucking Black Friday A Christmas Carol episode. And I will forever not watch Teen Titans Go because I found it absolutely fucking stupid.
When I first moved to Iowa, right before my son was born, I needed a quick job to build up some cash so that we'd be ready for the little guy. And I took a job at Family Video, a video store franchise that only recently stopped existing thanks to the pandemic. But one of the things I did to keep myself occupied during the store was watch the seasons of Teen Titans Go they had, because we couldn't watch anything PG-13 or above in the store. And I got to see the whole series almost. It is irreverence, it's immature, and it's wacky, zany, cartoony, but it's also very self-aware. It knows that it's a wacky, zany cartoon, and they riff on themselves constantly. In fact, there's an entire episode where they parody the idea of the fans and the energy and power you get from the fans. And if you want more power, you must pander to the fans. Wait, where'd the pan go?
No,
they understand. They know that that changing format hurt the fans, but if they stay true to themselves and keep at least one fan, then they've accomplished their goal. It's so bizarre.
So what you're saying is it's basically Lower Decks, just Teen Titans Lower Decks.
Yeah. Exactly. I was about to make that comparison.
Yeah, I'm definitely tuning out.
I was about to make that same comparison. When I watched Teen Titans when it first came out, loved it. It was great. Teen Titans Go comes out, and I'm like, I hate it. I watched couple episodes, and like Son just said, I was about to make that comparison. Lower Decks. I'm like, oh, what?
Lower Decks was better.
Anyway, Justin. But Ross put eloquently, like, you pander to the fans and this and that. Okay, fine. But now Teen Titans Go meets Space Jam. I'm like, you know what? I can't even tolerate Space Jam 2 because of LeBron. So it's like...
My issue with this whole thing with Teen Titans Go is there's no freaking reason that these two can't exist. These two different versions of the same damn show. There's no reason for it. Like, it's so popular. Like, the original is still below. I have all the seasons on the shelf over there.
Which is why they did the crossover.
And the thing is, is they massacre. Like, I understand that it's a joke, but like, you massacre where you come from altogether. Like, I can't, like, honestly, when my first episode I saw was the one with Trigon, and I was like, oh my god, they massacred my boy. What did you do? What did you do? And that was like one of the best arcs in the original show. And it's just like, I get it, you know, I think it can exist, but I think there's no reason that the actual original Teen Titans should not exist. Like, I don't think there's any reason that they shouldn't have a show right now, considering, like, if they were like, look, we're going to kickstart this, they'd have that money in a day. Easy.
You got the live action Titans.
It's good. You know what, Ross? You know what? I actually give Ross credit here because I hated it. I went back and watched it, tried to go in with an open mind, and I actually really like it. And I'm actually glad that I did, because I'm stuck on that. What I remember from the Titans. But when I went into this, after seeing Teen Titans Go, I really freaking appreciate Titans.
It is the polar opposites. It is dark, brutal, and good.
Fuck Batman.
So many people lost their shit whenever he said that. I just found it hilarious. I remember.
All right,
let's
wrap this up. We're coming short on time, guys.
Got it.
I'm loving it, but we're trying to keep things a bit more compact. We got 2 primary topics left. So this week on Superman and Lois, we got the reveal that a certain character who we all thought was going to be one thing turned out to be something very different, and wow, the impact. So,
spoiler alert.
Yes, spoiler
alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler.
You have been warned.
John Henry Irons. Steel is finally in live action.
And
the man who will be Steel, at least. Yeah. They thought he was going to be Lex Luthor. He's Steel.
And
have you guys seen I should say, have any of you guys seen? Do you guys watch Superman and Lois?
No,
I haven't. I've got too many shows I'm watching.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So
I'm more into it than I am in Flash this season, because Flash this season is repeating same old.
Well, I haven't watched it either, but the inclusion of Steel is pretty fun for me. I don't know if you guys remember the terrible Shaquille O'Neal movie.
Are you mean Kazam?
No, Shaquille O'Neal actually played Steel as well. He had the hammer.
Yeah.
They made a Batcave joke. It was about what you'd expect.
It was bad. Yeah. It was about as bad as the time that Shaquille O'Neal played a genie. That bad.
Kazam, yeah.
However, I'm familiar enough with the character thanks to the 2 parts Death of Superman and Rise of the Supermen that came out last year, which is really fun. The introduction of the character, his role in the Superman family, and just power of the character. It's interesting to see that they're including the character and possibly the hero in live action.
Really, they did had some strong moments, because when one of the cutscenes where Lois Lane got cut down by the other Superman, and it turns out that Lois was John Henry's wife in that universe.
Oh,
yeah,
damn,
it was deep. Yeah, so, yeah, some
they're
very
really
strong hatred.
I'm very happy to hear that Shaquille O'Neal did not reprise his role.
No,
apparently he took on the name Lex Luthor because he idolized him. I guess he was trying to be the hero.
Well, I certainly want to catch up on Superman and Lois now so that I can see this character and how they're portraying him. I don't know when I'm going to get the opportunity to do so, but I want to more than I did before.
Do it. It's gotten very good. It's no real dull moments. It's very easy to follow. You'll enjoy the hell of it. It's not a general CW show.
I'm not watching CW shows until they give me my Powerpuff Girls show. I'm watching the CW.
No, you're not gonna like the script that leaked in.
All right. And our final primary topic for the night, a new contender has entered the ring in the streaming wars. Games Workshop has announced Warhammer Plus. A couple weeks ago, I talked about Astartes and its acquisition by Games Workshop, going from a fan project to an official one. This is actually something that's been happening in the fan community, where Games Workshop has been reaching out to these creators, acquiring the works that they've made, making them official projects, and making some people feel a little concerned that Games Workshop is acquiring these high-quality fan projects to stuff them out, to stop the competition for something they're creating. But it seems that they're repackaging them and putting them into a subscription service. And now they've got 11 shows to showcase with this service, and I'm interested. I'm not expecting this to be a Netflix. I'm not expecting this to be something that has a broad appeal. I'm expecting this to be niche. I'm expecting this to be something of an interest generator, so to speak. I think the reaction has been
a Star Trek Continuum. You know, that failed streaming service.
You mean Stargate Continuum?
The Stargate, yeah.
Or like
You did it again.
See, look, I've been doing that the whole damn time. See.
Well, at least you didn't say Star Wars like my dumbass did earlier.
You know, Ross, I wonder if this goes along with the rumors that Blizzard is going to be doing the same thing with their properties. Like they wanted to make an Overwatch TV show, a Diablo one, a StarCraft one. They were talking about how they wanted to do that in like a subscription type form, which, to be honest, if they had an Overwatch show, I'm just saying I'd be in on it. I'd pay for that
Blizzard
alone.
is already failing when it comes to the fucking launcher wars. So, like, getting into the streaming service thing is like, what the fuck do you even think you're doing?
Not really. They suck at games recently, but their animation is top quality. Like, Overwatch is interesting enough, and not to mention Diablo. If they can make these in the shows, holy hell, that would be
damn
good.
Overwatch animation. Like I used to watch the Overwatch short. I mean, damn.
Oh, they're still good.
Good. Yeah.
Well, Blizzard would have a leg to stand on, though, if they actually did what they promised to do with the One Games remaster that they just recently made and fucked up by not having the animations that they showed.
I think, honestly, it would be the best way for Blizzard to go at this point. Stop making games and just do animation. They are very good at animation. It's some of the best animation work you'll probably see in the gaming industry, but
I don't think they're ever going to stop making games. But
no, they're never going to stop. But I'm saying, like, considering they just lost the director for Overwatch and things like that, and Diablo, what are we getting? Immortal and possibly 4, but we don't know if that's in hell.
Diablo 2 remastered.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They're going to have to cling to their past unless they come up with something new, which I just don't foresee Blizzard having the fortitude to do. Where Games Workshop, this is perfect. They've got a vast library. I think even Blizzard, if they wanted to do it, they could do it.
Well, see, you also have to remember, Blizzard isn't Blizzard anymore. Blizzard is EA.
But that's the point.
Activision Blizzard.
But that's the point. It would be cheaper to make animation, I would think, than it would be to make games. And not to mention, you'd still get on that money on the fan base.
Here's a question, though. Is a niche streaming platform viable?
Look at Apple. They're just above Peacock.
Stargate Continuum, the DC one.
I think it depends on how vast your library is, because that's what DC, like when DC came out, I'll say that streaming service just looked god awful. I was like, there's no way anybody's going to be dumb enough to subscribe to this. But then they were like, look, you're not just getting animated movies and all the movies we've made, you're getting comics, and you like in a subscription service too. Like if they do things like this, the thing with Games Workshop is they got a lot of stories to tell. and that's going to be something that they have in their pocket. I just started scratching the surface recently with Warhammer because I've been wanting to learn, and it's vast. That alone is vast, not to mention everything else they've got under their belt. I think they've got a
we can play via Roll20 or whatever you want.
I want to learn how to play. And I think with Games Workshop, the one thing that they have is that's really big is they have a very dedicated, loyal fan base. That's another thing you need for a streaming service. And I think that's why DC survived too.
One that's willing to pay money for things often.
Yeah.
One that is willing to pay for new editions of rule books every few years as new things come out. Willing to pay for supplementary rule books every few years.
You know what the industry calls those, Ross?
Whales.
Whales.
Suckers. I was also used.
You know what whales are? A casino term.
Well, at least it's not a casino because I actually get something out of it.
It's for the people who come in consistently and spend a whole bunch of money, leave, and then come back again.
You know how Games Workshop can really top this off is have a creator program.
They might.
Of some sort, where there's some kind of benefit to the person making these things that has the original idea. Like, I'm just saying, like, if they did that, they'd be absolute customer loyalty. I think it's going to be gold. I think it's a great idea. I've seen the Games Workshop fanboys, and they are dedicated. They will buy this.
Well, there are 11 titles so far, including a sequel to Astartes, a show called Altar of Wrath, Interrogator, Black Talon, Angels of Death, Pariah Nexus, Hammer and Bolter. They're all animations, both 3D and 2D. So we've already seen what Astartes can do. We've seen.
Wait a minute. I know this probably has nothing to do with the thing, but Hammer and Bolter sounds like some kind of communist propaganda for Warhammer.
Hammer and Bolter is an anthology series that spans both the fantasy and grimdark future universes.
So if the commies won.
Oh, let's whale.
I'm interested to see if Games Workshop can make a success out of this. And maybe if they do, we'll see other niche streaming services out there. Who knows?
I'd be curious to see. I think it's kind of a point where a lot of these are going to be getting a lot of. I like fan projects. I like to see when that they're respected, and I feel like Games Workshop, that's really awesome. That they're looking at these projects and like, look, there's some worth here. There's value here. And I think that loyalty should definitely go notice. And I think a lot of companies don't notice it. In fact, the fake DMCAs are kind of BS too.
Well, see, you're exactly right about companies not noticing it or being loyal to that loyalty. That's what happened to Continuum. Is that they created like this Stargate thing, and they had like a whole bunch of unique original content to start off with, and then like literally MGM is the side that fell off the face of the fucking earth because the people were still subscribed to the service and getting nothing.
I just hope we get something like this.
Hang on.
Oh God.
No, see, Ross, unless that's a Chaos Marine, that's heresy.
No, he's not using the saxophone as a weapon, so he's not a noise marine. He's just playing a saxophone.
Yes, but the sax and the undulation, that's the heresy.
All right.
Only if done to excess.
You know what? I'll one up you guys. I know that we're kind of pressed for time, but one question I have is if you could have anything, any game series, become an animated short series, what would it be?
Metroid Prime.
Finish
him.
We've got several Mortal Kombat ones out there. Justin.
Yeah.
Mass Effect.
Oh, yes.
I love that.
Produced by Sci-Fi Channel.
Wait, there's no way.
Oh, God, get out of here.
There's no way in hell you can make Mass Effect a short series.
No.
Side stories. There have been a couple animated Mass Effect features.
I want to see a game of the first Contact War. Damn it. Let me have that. I'd love to see the prequel. Turians versus the humans. Do you realize how exciting that is? That would be awesome.
I think Sun would agree with me that we both would love to see a CNC series.
That would be nice. We've been trying to work on one ourselves.
Yes. That's Command and Conquer. For those not in the know.
Everybody
all right.
It's awesome.
Final thoughts, everybody.
I think it's good for them. I think that it's a good appreciation for their fans, and I think that they have a loyal fan base where they can make it work. I think that they're going to have to pump out content pretty regularly to make a streaming service work, but I think they can pull it off. They got the loyalty. They got a lot of fan projects. They got a lot of things that they can dig into. I think it's good.
Final thoughts on everything else we've covered for the week? Or final thoughts for the week itself before we get into our final topics or final segments?
Everything was perfection. Except Superman and Lois, because nobody watched that.
So,
I mean, a nice, quick, short show. I mean, we need to make some changes.
I have a suggestion for you, Raina, for the short, short series. Portal.
Oh my!
What is it?
Portal.
Oh, that would be.
I would
good.
love a GLaDOS show.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. We've been dicked around for years between Gabe Newell and J.J. Abrams claiming that they're working on some kind of Portal movie.
Yes.
And at this point, I don't fucking believe either of them because both of them have shown to be liars, like consistently.
And can't count to 3.
So
neither of them can count to 3.
I would really like somebody else to take the reins and have a short series of Portal.
Zack Snyder.
Oh, Ross, I have to add before we go the quote from J.J. Abrams that from now on I've learned my lesson. I should plan my trilogies properly before putting them out there.
Hashtag Star Wars.
Son, I have a YouTube recommendation for you. Harry 101 UK makes Portal videos. And
I've already been subscribed for years at this point.
Enough said then. Enough said. All right. It's time to wrap up the show and get into our final segments of the week. And holy crap, have we've gone over our time, but I think with refinement and discipline, we can keep this up and actually have a manageable show length.
And the lack of Carlos.
Over our time, you mean we're under 3.5 hours?
I was shooting for an hour and a half tonight.
Ah, gotcha.
So, Greg, what have you watched this week?
Of course, Bad Batch, but Lucifer dropped today. We watched about half of the episode so far, and all I have to say is season 5, episode 10. If you love musicals, you're set. It's turning out to be
musical.
It's not just one musical bit. There's at least 6. There's like 5 or 6 musical numbers. And it involves anything from cheerleaders to the cops to, oh my God, it gets out of hand. It's great.
Oh,
my wife is going to lose her mind. She adores that show.
And Tom Ellis putting on his singing voice, makes me want to drop my pants for him. I'm just saying.
Raina, what have you watched this week?
I haven't been watching anything, but the big thing that I have been doing, I've been streaming a lot. Resident Evil 6. I have never played through it. I am almost certainly on chapter.
Link in the name tag. In the name tag.
Yes.
Go follow.
So
get her to affiliate so you can subscribe.
Yes, I am so working towards that. I want to start doing that more and make it close to a full-time thing. But the big thing, Kindle Unlimited. I have been reading like a mad woman, reading supernatural romance stuff that I used to hate, and I love it now. And I don't know if it's the hormones, but I love it. And I have to say, I have to give a shout out to the author, Elena Lawson. I joined her fan club on Facebook because I like her stuff. You'll never hear me say that again about anyone else. But I joined your fan club, and I love your work. And she's wrote some of the best stuff I have ever had the pleasure of.
Raina, did you like 50 Shades of Grey?
No, that's terrible.
It's not the hormones.
It's there's no vampires or werewolves. That's not fun.
Son, what have you been watching?
Okay, so I found this YouTube channel called Deep Sea Oddities. And basically it is a channel that covers a whole bunch of ROV footage from NOAA and other deep sea exploration missions, and covers the strange discoveries that are found on these ROV expeditions. Like they found a what is it, a B-29, the Flying Fortress?
Yes.
From World War II in the Marianas Trench.
Not surprised. That's awesome.
Yeah, they found one in the Marianas Trench. So, yeah, that was a thing that happened. Also, there have been so many discoveries just in the past 2 decades because of the of creature discoveries in the past 2 decades, because of just ROVs getting better and better at handling deeper and deeper pressure. One of the deepest discoveries I think they had at like 11,000 meters, I think it was. And that's, I mean, God, that's pretty deep. Like that pressure, that's instant. That's instantly going to crush your body deep.
Crush depth for a submarine is typically around 4,000 fathoms. That's 4,000 times 6.
24.
24,000 feet.
So yeah, I've been watching that. It's Deep Sea Oddities has like a whole bunch of like different, basically like countdown things, and they like they'll show a creature and then they'll explain a little bit about the creature and then they'll move on to the next creature or the discoveries. Or the most recent one that I watched was actually really interesting because it was hydrophone. Them using the hydrophone for oceanic sounds. And like the first item on that list was 4 different sounds, and they were all sounds made by icebergs underwater. And you have like this sound that sounds like a train underwater, and it's literally an iceberg scraping against the ocean floor. It's like, this is really neat. So yeah, go and check them out if you want to see some scary stuff, some cool stuff, and some stuff that's like, wow, there's stuff buried down here.
What was the name again?
Deep Sea Oddities.
Deep Sea Oddities. All right. Mm-hmm. Justin, what did you watch this week?
Well, besides Bad Batch, at the last minute this week, I've been playing a lot of Deep Rock Galactic, and let me tell you, if you like to destroy stuff and if you like mining, this is your game. And drinking, oh, do they drink? Drinking is also a perk of the mission. So you get buff beers for the mission you're on, and it gives you certain abilities like extra gold or better health or survivability or just whatever. might come your way. But
And there's also
it's
the
fun.
beers that just get you straight wasted.
Yeah, they have those, and
It's
then they
a
have
really
sober
great
beer.
game. It's a
Yeah,
really
it's
good
fun
game.
to play. It's also for those that don't want to pay the full price. The game's free. It's on the Game Pass, so you can, if you have Game Pass, you can get it on that one. However, there's not cross compatibility, which sucks. I don't want to like get that yet, but they're working on making that happen. So yeah, it's a good game. I highly recommend it. It's fun to play. Since, I normally play Elite Dangerous, but since Odyssey was botched on this release, I'm waiting for a few patches to bring it back into that game.
See, I played Deep Rock when they were doing a free weekend not too long ago, and I would enjoy it more if it had some kind of story element to it. At this point, it's a lot like playing the first 6 months of Overwatch. So here, go fight each other with no real understanding of what the hell is going on.
Hey, I'll have you know, Overwatch is a masterpiece. How dare you?
Oh.
All right. As for me, I got two things that I want to mention real quick. I found out that my wife has never seen How to Train Your Dragon.
Divorce her.
No. No, because that can be corrected. And we did. And she loved it. She thought it was wonderful. When she realized that the dragons are basically flying cats, she lost her mind.
So I expect your wife is now going to newly discover Bad Dragon.
Oh my!
See, it's
so that's the second issue. Okay.
No, no. Well, and the look on her face when I told her that there were 2 sequels was priceless.
So,
as for the second,
oh god.
The Black Pants Legion released their latest Tex Talks Battletech episode, this time focusing on the mech known as the Marauder and its impact on the Inner Sphere through the Star League era and Succession Wars into the post-Clan era. And it was an absolute masterpiece. The production quality of the BPL as the series has gone on has just been insane. They're commissioning custom art, making custom music. Everything about it has this love and care that is unparalleled in so many creators. And the fact that they're doing this just for fun just makes it that much more crazy and amazing. And even if you're not a Battletech fan, you got to respect what they've done, because each and every Tex Talks Battletech episode is also connected to a charity. And so far, since the episode was released 3 days ago, they have raised $21,000 for the St. Jude's Cancer Research Foundation.
I mean, you have to have love and care for a thing when your nads are straddling a nuclear engine.
A fusion engine. Battle mechs are powered by miniature fusion reactors.
If I may, Ross, about that.
Yeah.
So, it was going to be on the point of How to Train Your Dragon. If you ever wanted to see someone die, which almost happened to me with How to Train Your Dragon 3, I went into that movie teasing my girlfriend. Toothless dies at the end. Never. I didn't see because how they announced it's the end of it. It's like the last movie. I'm like, either Toothless or Hiccup dies. I just told her that. I was like,
why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
No one.
So cruel.
Okay, Satan.
She went in.
That is
we went in to watch, so we went in to watch the movie.
That is like me teasing Ross with Battleship. Don't do that.
Where's that picture of Skeletor when you need it? I'm not into that shit.
Oh man, I hope she tears up your Tyranitar. I'm just saying for that.
Misuse. 1, 2, 3.
We went to go watch the movie when it first came out in the theaters, and we're watching it. And at the very end, when Hiccup is falling and he tells the white one to go get Toothless, I'm like, "See, watch! I told you, Hiccup dies." And she started crying. I'm like,
awful.
I was like, hey, they lit. When she saw the baby cow dragons, she was happy.
So go check out the BPL. They're a crazy group of mad lads who just do whatever the hell they want on YouTube for fun. It's so rare these days, and it's what I aspire Live Love Play to be. I started out wanting to be Rooster Teeth. Now I want to be the BPL.
Yeah, because Rooster Teeth is kind of going through a whole bunch of hell right now.
All right. Well, that wraps up our B-Man! What? After all that, Ross, I seek glory. Twitch chat, guys. Twitch chat.
Okay, for those of you who
Twitch.tv/live_love_play.
For those of you who aren't aware, I've been posting this shitpost meme of Gowron at a glory hole, and he sticks his eye in the hole and he goes, "I seek glory."
Wait! I got new Gowron eyes. I've got new Gowron eyes. I got new Gowron eyes for you, son.
Hey, come on, Greg.
While he's bringing that up, let's thank you guys so much for watching this week. We've had a great time. We hope to see you all again next week. No program notes of any changes so far, but we are looking at changing up when we do this podcast, as situations have changed for a few of us. Some of us have new jobs. We all have responsibilities, and some of us have children to take care of as well. So these late nights cannot keep happening for us to continue to do the podcast.
And we're old people. We're old. Okay?
And some of us are a little older in the teeth. So keep up with our Facebook. Do we have a Twitter presence? Do we use it at all?
Not much, no.
Well, stick with the Facebook group. Follow each of us on our different social medias, and you'll get the updates as it happens. And if things do change, we will post the shit out of it, so you will find out.
Because that is one thing we are very good at, posting.
All right. Stay tuned if you want to stick around for our post-show Florida Man segment, where we'll find out all of the what the fuck moments from across the country, across the Florida, and across the world as they come up.
Okay.
Bring it up. But until next time, we are the Real SuperGeeks. Thank you so much for watching. Those
aren't Gowron eyes at all. Those are the eyes of a madman without a fan film.
People are trying to sleep in this house.
Oh my God. You actually scared the bejesus out of Ross. Like, legitimately.
I have neighbors on the other side of that wall.
And everybody, I hope you liked our new host, Ross.
Justin's gonna get fired.
Thank you for watching tonight. We hope to see you all again next week. Son.
And remember, you are all loved and appreciated by just your being you.
Remember to live, to love, and to play every day. Play us out, Justin.
I have to remember, I have to stop that now because it'll keep playing if I don't.
All right. Are you guys sticking around for Florida Man?
I've got to duck out. I've got to be up at 7 for a trip up to a friend's house. So I'm ducking out tonight, guys. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it. It's fun as always.
Always glad to have you here, man.
Have a good night, guys.
Night, guys.
See ya.
All right.
So, Florida man arrested for assaulting his own daughter with pizza.
Please give some details on that.
Okay,
Justin, do your thing.
So
I'm too shocked. I mean, how do you assault somebody with pizza? Okay, man.
Okay, so basically, there was an argument that went on between this guy and his adult daughter, and they were having pizza at the time. And he literally takes a slice of pizza and just slaps her in the face with it. So she calls the cops, and he gets arrested because he assaulted an adult.
Florida man assaulted by a slice of pizza. That one's not getting any assistance.
Florida man says a sea monster that looks suspiciously similar to Cecil, the seasick serpent, ate his friends.
God. Florida man. All right.
I'm trying to find the details on this, but it's from the akforum.net, and yeah.
Someone took.
It's from the Otto Kalishnikov forums. What?
Yeah.
Well, that sucks. Someone took the one out about. Oh, there it is. Florida woman Casey Anthony. Everybody's not favorite Casey Anthony was hit with drinks in West Palm Beach and ended up calling the cops on the person because he wanted it documented.
Okay.
She did not want to press charges.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Do your thing.
Apparently, it happens all the time. Florida idiot.
Florida man just wanted to avoid the cops by setting a fire to a restaurant.
Florida man.
Let's hear those details.
Let me open the link.
We're not used to having time for details.
Yeah, this is true.
It's more fun when we discuss the topics instead of just reading off headlines.
We're actually alert for the topic. We're not sitting here.
Okay, so the suspect in the Mulligan's Beach House Bar and Grill arson that damaged the restaurant has been arrested, according to Martin County Sheriff's Office. Quote, "We have no idea who he is, and we hope he gets the help he needs," says the owner of the restaurant. We forgive, I know he's got issues. That's all you need right there.
I mean, he's a Florida man, so we already know he has issues. I mean, it's just a well-known fact. Florida man have issues.
Okay, so this is actually one I had to open myself and read. So you guys remember like that lady who was screaming racial slurs in the Burger King? Yeah. We finally found out why she was slinging racial slurs in the fucking Burger King.
Why was she slinging racial slurs in the Burger King?
Apparently, the tomatoes on her Whopper were not the correct thickness.
You broke Justin. It takes a lot to break Justin. You just broke Justin.
That's the second time tonight.
Oh, let's give him a moment. Wow, this never happens.
Oh my God.
It's usually Justin breaking people, not people breaking him.
What the fuck?
Justin, do your thing.
Florida idiot.
All right, here we go. Florida man on motorcycle killed in crash involving a bear.
Oh no.
A 42-year-old Florida man is dead after colliding with a bear while riding his motorcycle, according to a report from Florida Highway Patrol. The report says the incident happened night in Marion County on State Road 40, just west of US 19, around 11 p.m. Troopers say the Ocala man was traveling westbound when the front of his motorcycle struck a bear that was in the westbound lane. The bike then overturned onto its left side and the driver was ejected. FHP says the driver was not wearing a helmet. He was transported to nearby hospital where he was pronounced dead. The report does not give the identity of the motorcycle rider or the bear. and does not give any details about the condition of the animal.
Florida bear. The bear clearly won that fight. So, point the bear.
Poor man, though.
Okay, so here's one. Florida woman battered her boyfriend with, quote, soiled dog pads during late night confrontation that also included the victim getting sprayed in the face with Windex.
Florida. Look, I know y'all are trying to compete with Kentucky because they do similar crazy shit. But come on, seriously.
Well, hey, I have an even better that's not in the headline. The couple was in their 60s. So this is a 60-year-old woman beating on a 64-year-old man with soiled dog pads and spraying him in the face with Windex.
My neighbors, oh my god, they're gonna be wondering what the fuck's going on.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No. Okay. No.
Well,
All right.
I found your Florida man headline, Justin. Florida man sprays women with roach spray and breaks out nunchucks over loud music, cops say.
Oh, let's do one more each and then wrap it up for the night.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Here's my last one. What voice to do for this one? Florida's worst cop was just fired for misconduct for the 7th time.
Sounds about right. Yep.
A Florida police sergeant was fired after allegedly conspiring to cover for a colleague who'd failed to secure an October crime scene, making the 7th time the lawman has been terminated for misconduct and criminal behavior, officers said on Friday. The city of Opelika terminated the employment of Sergeant, I'm not going to read his name, this week after an internal review found he engaged a subordinate officer to create a false report and failed to secure a firearm on a crime scene in October. City manager John Pate told the Daily Beast. After the officer discovered the gun was missing and replaced it with a phony plastic version, Boss was caught on body camera yelling at a subordinate who appeared to have failed to secure the scene before coaching it on how to conceal the truth.
Yeah, see, this is why there needs to be like state databases of fired cops and why they've been fired.
Oh, I got one.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, hold on. I got to do radio voice now. It's going to be fun. Testing. All right, here we go. All right. Florida man suspected of using private plane to draw giant radar penis.
That's actually the least Florida man thing.
Yeah,
that's Florida man story.
Yeah.
Like, the Air Force did that all the fucking time.
So does the Navy, and apparently so did the Ever Given before it jammed the Suez Canal.
Its load got stuck.
Yes, it did. So I have our Florida hero of the week.
Let's hear it.
Florida woman stops Naples traffic to help ducks cross the road.
Oh.
Hey. Alrighty. Well.
See, that's the hero Florida needs.
They just need to wipe it out and start over again in that state, I think.
I wish we could keep going all night with everything from the week, but it is late and I need sleep.
We might be going early next week. We will let everybody know as soon as we get everything figured out behind the scenes. We got to, torture Carlos into a green. But, we got to let him out of the cage and give false sense of freedom.
All right. Thanks again, everybody. Hope you have a fantastic long weekend. Be safe, be responsible, and I hope to see you all again next time.
And remember, spay and neuter your plushies.